When I'm taking pictures with my sister will go, okay, Asia, give me a laughing shot. And I'll be like,
the spontaneity. That's
Sugar,
great.
you're so weird.
That's a heavy question. When I think about it, the easy answer for me would be to say I was a kid when I needed help. But the honest answer, the one that's more true, is me as an adult. I grew up in foster care. I had a few years when I was younger with my parents, but my home life was troubled is a good word. That wouldn't even describe what my childhood was like. So I didn't have that. I didn't have a mother figure. I didn't have a father. I honestly didn't have really anybody, because going into foster care, my brother and my sister and I were separated. So that was all I had, was people that I didn't know. And so the person that I was when I needed the most help was when I had to be on my own. I knew court systems. I knew all types of violence. I knew heartache. I knew sadness. It was my normal. So when I became emancipated at 17 and was out on my own, I didn't know what to do, because I didn't have homes to jump to. I didn't have court dates anymore. I didn't have to deal with social workers. I didn't have anything, and so then I didn't know who I was. So that was probably the most difficult point in my life. I think that at this point in my life, it's just by being unapologetically me. For so long, I didn't know who I was. And to be in that space where you don't know who you are, you don't really know what you want. You float through life. You just kind of do what you think others want from you. You do what you think others expect of you. Growing up in the system, whatever system that might be for some, for me in the foster care system, I knew what foster parents expected of me. I knew what was expected of me when I went to court. I knew what social workers expected of me. And so as an adult now, I live me unapologetically. No regrets about how I live, even with my past. Just being me and knowing that if today wasn't a good day, tomorrow can be a better one. I remember that there was this time where after I got emancipated when I was 17, I was homeless for a while, and it happens to a lot of former foster youth. They become homeless, and I had a car, but I had no place to live, and I had no help, and I was on my own. And I had my daughter when I was 16, and my baby girl was sitting in the back seat. She could barely talk, and we were sitting on the side of these train tracks, and I was praying, saying, I was gonna take care of her. I remember looking in the rearview mirror thinking, I'm gonna take care of her. Like, I don't care what it takes. When I was in foster care, my foster mom tried to adopt her from underneath me, and I did everything in my power to keep her. That was my biggest thing, was so that my child, my children, whatever children I would have, wouldn't feel the abandonment that I felt.
Yes.
And so I made it a point to work hard for her. But from that day on those train tracks to up to 4 years ago, I had forgotten me. How could I take care of her if I wasn't taking care of me? And I never thought back then that I would have a platform to be able to inspire somebody, to be able to say, it's gonna be okay. It's not always gonna be like this. You are worth something. You matter. Sometimes just hearing you matter makes all the difference.
Yes.
Especially to somebody who has never heard it. And so in a lot of my videos, right at the back of it, at the tail end of the video, I'll say, did I tell you that you matter? Because you do. Because that's not what I heard often. I heard the opposite. So I never thought that I would have an opportunity to be able to inspire. I didn't set out doing this to inspire. It wasn't my goal. I set out to be happy. The woman, the person, the woman who doesn't know who she is, the child who's alone, the woman who feels like she doesn't have anything or anybody.